15 seconds to airtime, Byron. Stand by cart. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mic.
This is the Voice of America, broadcasting from Washington.
Hit it. And mic.
The Space Shuttle Discovery is scheduled...
The Voice of America, the international radio service of the United States, broadcasting daily in over 40 different languages to people around the world. VOA is part of the United States Information Agency, a branch of the United States government which fosters mutual understanding between the people of the United States and other countries. The United States Information Agency's mission is to tell America's story to the world. The agency does this using publications in local languages, exhibits, educational exchanges, motion pictures, television productions, and round-the-clock radio transmissions. The Voice of America is guided by a charter which ensures that its news broadcasts are reliable, authoritative, accurate, and objective. VOA broadcasts represent America as a whole. They present government policies clearly and effectively, and give responsible discussion and differing opinions on these policies. Over 3,000 dedicated employees work for VOA, including many foreign citizens who staff VOA technical facilities in their own countries. Of course, VOA is not alone on the radio bands. International broadcasting is a normal daily activity, sanctioned by international agreements, used by many countries of the world to share their perspectives and to communicate with their friends. The Voice of America is headquartered in Washington, D.C., and all its programs originate here. Timely, accurate news broadcasts are featured. Information is gathered in VOA's Washington newsroom from many sources, including full-time VOA correspondents in many cities, freelance journalists at the scene of a breaking event, and international wire services like Reuters, Agence France Presse, and the Associated Press. Other programming goes beyond the daily news, probing the issues, presenting the latest music or topics in the arts, and reaching out across the United States to show unique aspects of American culture to the world. Over 120 million people hear the Voice of America every week. They listen to be informed, enlightened, and entertained. For many, accurate and objective radio broadcasts are an important window to the outside world. Because all its programs are sent from Washington, D.C., VOA, like other international broadcasters, must use relay stations, radio transmitting facilities closer to the intended audience, to ensure that listeners many thousands of kilometers away can receive a clear signal. VOA has relay stations in a number of locations around the world and is currently adding new and modernized facilities to its network. Radio signals produced in Washington are sent to the relay stations through communications satellites or other electronic equipment. Once these weak signals are received at a station, they are converted to higher power transmissions and then relayed to the intended audience. Listeners can receive these stronger signals clearly with ordinary home radios. A relay station needs a large assortment of electronic equipment in order to transmit many programs in different languages at the same time. The most prominent features are the massive antenna structures. A single station may have 10 or more fixed antennas, each pointing toward a specific audience. Even one antenna alone is an enormous structure, often more than 100 meters tall and 200 meters wide. If placed on its side, it would cover more area than a soccer or football field. Open space must be reserved around each antenna structure in order to place the necessary feed lines and supporting wires, and to make sure that signals from one antenna do not interfere with any others. Buildings on the site contain other needed electronic equipment. This equipment includes receivers which accept the weak signals coming from Washington, the massive transmitters which boost these signals, and other components needed to monitor and safeguard the operations of the station. In many stations, large generators power the radio transmitters. Whenever possible, electricity is purchased from local authorities, and these generators are used only for backup or emergency situations. Since many sites are located in isolated regions, housing is often needed for the employees. Other essential features include a water supply, roads, and sanitary facilities. With so many antennas, structures, and other equipment contained in the relay station site, a large area of land is necessary. The station is carefully designed to use the smallest amount of land possible, but often 400 hectares or more are needed to accommodate everything in a safe and effective manner. The grounds are well maintained to minimize any hazards and to permit ready access to all facilities for maintenance. Fences prevent unsuspecting individuals or wandering animals from coming into contact with possibly hazardous equipment. A VOA relay station is more than a collection of the transmitters, antennas, and other apparatus needed to broadcast radio signals. Many talented people are also required to keep the show on the air. A small staff of U.S. citizens, typically 10 or so, provides the management skills, technical expertise, and training abilities. However, it is the larger number of host country residents who actually run the station and perform most of the skilled technical tasks to keep VOA broadcasting. At a given station, 50 to 100 local residents are hired by VOA. Through comprehensive training, they learn modern technical skills and work diligently to operate and maintain all of the sophisticated technical equipment. Others are hired on contract to provide security, groundskeeping, maintenance, and other services to keep a complex station running at peak condition. During construction of new relay stations, many more residents will be hired to provide skilled and unskilled labor. This work provides numerous jobs and boosts the local economy due to the many purchases which must be made. In constructing new stations, local community facilities are often improved, such as roads, bridges, and water supplies. Once established in a local community, VOA tries to show its good neighbor philosophy by giving a helping hand wherever it can. For example, in Liberia, where unemployment is running at a level of 75% and money for community projects is extremely tight, the Roger Richards Elementary School was built by volunteer effort and contributions from the employees at the VOA relay station. The local economy also benefits from the opportunity to sell goods and food to employees right at the station. An example is this Market on the Hill in Carysburg, Liberia. And how do the local people themselves feel about having a VOA relay station in their midst?
The VOA presence in Liberia means a lot to the community. It fosters community improvements. VOA throughout has been a helping hand to a community, especially so where the station is far from the main municipal government VOA in many occasions provides a helping hand in the clinics, the schools. For instance, VOA has built through some self-help community project a school in the Carrisburg, Wilsonville town. They also assisted in the clinic and building the markets. So I think VOA is very, very important and very, very active in community life.
Well, the best thing, first of all, is it did create a job for hundreds of our citizens, and this is what we, like a great deal. And also, having VOA in Liberia also is a pride to Liberia to have a news organ within our country to transmit, what America is to the other world.
In Costa Rica, a refrigerator was donated by station personnel to a local clinic so that perishable medicine could be stored for the community. First aid and prompt response to emergencies are also frequently provided. The Tanang Children's Center in the Philippines, also built and operated through the initiative and efforts of the staff of VOA's relay station, provides much-needed daycare services for the surrounding population. Employees here are deeply concerned about the educational development of their neighbors, as shown by this voluntary donation of books and school supplies.
Diabetes course, some recreation, the basketball, the tennis court, they built that one. They help all the poor about giving some foods, like making a daycare. That's what they have done in the Philippines.
In the Philippines, as in other areas, the precious land which the relay station occupies can be safely used at the same time for other purposes, such as grazing, farming, and fishing. Similar examples could be cited in the country of Greece. Here, a local farmer is harvesting grass at the Kavala relay station for use as feed for his animals. Specialized antenna rigging equipment is borrowed from the station to replace burned-out streetlights in the community. VOA personnel help to plan and construct this children's playground and a local church. In Morocco, something as basic as water for both animals and people is a vital commodity. The VOA relay station in Tangier recognizes this fact of life and makes arrangements for neighbors to get safe drinking water at regularly scheduled times during the day. They also maintain a watering trough where shepherds can bring their herds. As a further aid to those living and working near the Tangier transmitter site, VOA supplies material to repair the local road, which has been scarred by heavy traffic.
Okay, the VOA station in Morocco means to me is a good company, for example, because all employees who are working for the VOA, they can earn a living very well. For example, even, the life now is very hard. Everyone must be working for his family plus his wife as well, because everything is very expensive. But I think someone who is working for the VOA, just only one man of the family work, he can earn a living for all his family.
I think that the best part is that they give you a lot of opportunity if you want to develop yourself, to increase your skills as a radio technician in electronics. Because most of us are doing some correspondence course of electronics, so we can increase or develop our skill in that field.
VOA station in any country, I don't say anything that is anybody should fear. They should just welcome it as a good idea in all aspects.
The Voice of America operates its relay stations to the highest standards of technical performance and safety, and in strict accordance with all international regulations. VOA's transmissions do not interfere with local radio, television, or telephone systems. Their careful operation presents no health hazards, either to VOA employees, local residents, or even animals nearby. VOA relay stations are operated solely to bring U.S. international radio programs to interested listeners around the world. Because shortwave radio signals travel most effectively at distances over 1,000 kilometers, the signals usually cannot be heard by those in the country which hosts the relay stations, and many of the languages transmitted would not be understandable. However, the VOA facilities are open for all to see. Tours of VOA facilities worldwide are available for individuals and groups by appointment. These visits offer a fascinating introduction to the world of modern electronic technology and are particularly interesting for children and students. This has been the story of the function and operation of a modern radio relay station for international broadcasting, a key element and the final step in the path which brings the voice of America to the peoples of the world.
This is the Voice of America.
And now, the Director of Engineering and Technical Operations for the Voice of America.
Hello, I'm Bob Fries, Director of Engineering and Technical Operations for the Voice of America, speaking to you from Washington. You have just taken a brief tour behind the scenes of the Voice of America. You have visited our newsroom in Washington, the studios from which our programs originate, and many of the transmitting stations which send VOA broadcasts to millions of listeners around the world every day. The Voice of America has embarked upon the most ambitious modernization program in its history, renewing and expanding a global network of relay stations located in many countries. These stations have a simple mission: to allow those listeners who so desire to hear the Voice of America as clearly as possible. The stations are being constructed and operated with the utmost care to broadcast our programs safely and effectively. The relay stations are large in size, with many towering antennas and much complex technical equipment, but they also have a vital human dimension. The successful operation of the stations depends upon a dedicated and talented staff of local employees. As well as being a direct source of employment and training, the stations also benefit the local economy. And as you have seen in many examples, they provide a sincere concern for the special needs of those living nearby. By fostering good relations with our neighbors living adjacent to the relay stations, the Voice of America shows its intent to help all people communicate with and understand their neighbors around the world.
Ky është Amerikës.
Amharic.
ይህ የአሜሪካ ድምፅ ራዲዮ ጣቢያ ነው።
Arabic.
هنا صوت أمريكا.
Armenian.
խոսում է Ամերիկայի ձայնը.
Azerbaijani.
Danışır Amerika'nın Sesi Radyosu.
Bengali.
ভয়েস অফ আমেরিকার বাংলা অনুষ্ঠান শুরু হচ্ছে।
Bulgarian.
Govori Gosatna Amerika.